Hey everyone, thanks so much for jumping on today. For a few minutes here, we're going to talk about the content of your clinic website and a few simple changes you can make to make that content so much better and engaging for your website visitors. At the end of the day, content's not quite as glamorous as something like your design of your website, but it is so crucial because where our eyes are drawn to immediately when we come to a website is immediately starting to contextualize whether or not we're in the right spot, whether or not it has the information we need, and whether or not we need to navigate away or dive in deeper and read on more. And so what I wanted to do is give you three just really practical steps that you can kind of go through to assess whether or not your content's right, whether or not it's going to accomplish what you want it to do in kind of helping drive your website visitors to book an appointment to really connect with your clinic. And so the first thing I just want to talk about is this concept that less is more. I think sometimes we feel like we need to put everything we can onto the page and just publish and that we're happy with it because we knew we got everything out there. At the help our visitors reach their goals. If you put too many things, where we quickly go to as visitors is we become overwhelmed. We're not sure how to decipher what's important and what's not. And typically in that state of overwhelm, we actually disconnect. We actually disengage and maybe want to pull back and either go to a previous page or maybe a different website or start back at Google if we feel like there's just too many things going on and we can't get to the core of what we really want to do. And so the process here with the less is more is actually to determine with your content whether or not you where you have sentence after sentence that kind of start to sound repetitive, and really we could probably say the same thing in one sentence instead of three as we've done it here. And so just going through and really paring that down. If you have any pages that drag on and on, maybe utilizing that read more button to take them to a secondary page for those who really want to deep dive, because there's times where you need to say a lot of things. So for that situation, let's give them a link to take them to that other page. We'll go into it more over there, but not making sure your homepage is really clear, concise, get them to where they need to go, drop them into the sections that are the key pieces they're looking for. But really the goal here is to pare down our content, make it simple and digestible for someone. The second thing is to really understand the purpose of your website. Along those same lines of kind of wanting to just throw everything on the page, sometimes we just see what other websites are done or kind of in our brainstorming think of all these different ideas, and so we drop everything down there and say, good, at least we know it's all on there. But at the end of the day, your users, the visitors to your website, have a really specific goal in mind. It might be just to book an appointment. It might be to learn the location of where your clinic is. It might be to get to know your staff. Those are all very good things. What you need to determine are what are the top 3 to 5 goals that someone is trying to accomplish when they land on your website. And honestly, sometimes you want to sacrifice goals 6 through 10 because we want to focus on those primary ones. Let's get people booked. Let's make sure they know our staff. Let's make sure they know our location. What that lets you do is really begin to curate the content of your website so that you're not putting everything, not throwing the kitchen sink of content at them when they get there, but you're actually really targeted to say, okay, if you're booking, if you've come here to book with us today, this is the path you're going to take. We're going to make sure it's prominent on the homepage, prominent in the main menu, a really simple step. With all of these things I'm talking about, make sure you're testing it with people. Get someone to come by and say, again, this ties back to using that online booking tool, making sure you have one that makes the process just so seamless and simple for your visitors. But once we establish maybe there's just really obscure or different things that we thought might be good to have on our website, but if it's not letting them reach their goals, we got to get it off of there because it's only going to distract and take them away from accomplishing those main things. And finally, the third piece of with that narrative that your website is for that visitor. Identify with their problems, connect with them, give them a clear path through on how you're going to help them solve that problem, and then give them the call to action that says, this is what you need to do today. This is the step you need to take. And then we give them success stories. So much content can just be informational, but it's not inspiring. It's not engaging. It doesn't help us understand truly how you're going to help me get over this hurdle in my life, which is this pain or whatever problem they might be facing. And so we help them get there by telling that narrative. So how is your website telling a story about, hey, we're here to help you. These are the steps we're going to take to get there. Come book an appointment with us, and let's hear from Tim, who went through the same process and is now back to running marathons because he went through this process. That just helps people's minds not have to do the mental wrestling of, I think this place is going to help me, but I'm not entirely sure. But anyways, those are a few tips today. Hopefully that helps you rethink some of your content, rethink of how it can be even more engaging, and we hope this is helpful for your website. Thanks.